It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Welcome. If you're watching me live here on the East Coast or in Chicago, good evening. It's definitely evening on the East Coast. Good afternoon out in Los Angeles, 3:30 p.m. Chicago, it's 5:30 p.m. It's kind of getting dark. So it's, I guess, officially evening. Out in Denver or Boulder, hanging out with Coach Prime Time, Deion Sanders, 4:30, the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, like I said. All right. Please, you and everybody you know, like, love, can't stand, hate strangers, aliens from outer space. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Speaking of coaches, shout out to a former University of Alabama Roll Tide, Crimson Tide head coach Nick Saban, legendary coach, one of the greatest, if not the greatest head football coach in, college football with an asterisk. One of the greatest. Because Eddie Robinson, the coach at Grambling, I could make an argument, was the greatest college football coach ever. But definitely Nick Saban is right at the top with Eddie Robinson. Had a great career, 7 national championships, 6 in Alabama, 1 at LSU, Louisiana State University, and Bill Belichick, former head coach of the Patriots. He and the owner, Robert Kraft, they, I guess, agreed to, in an amicable way. An amicable way, that means they did it without, wasn't a lot of rancor, a lot of hate. They parted ways. Bill Belichick had a great career. It was tainted, because now he was known. I don't call him Belichick for nothing. Videotaping, way before Jim Harbaugh, he was taping people's practices and walkthroughs, and of course, the whole deflate gate with the footballs, him and Tom Shady, Brady, the luckiest of all time quarterback. So, but I just thought, since I was talking about coaches in prime time, who, in theory, can you imagine? Hey, University of Alabama, I can't think of the name of your athletic director. How about you give Deion a call in Boulder? Can you see Deion Primetime Sanders? Usually you never want to follow a legend like that. You maybe want to be the dude to follow the dude. Because usually the dude that follows the dude, that's a legend, flames out, people hate him, and then the dude that comes after the dude. But Deion could be the dude that followed the dude. Because Deion don't give a damn. He don't. And he could recruit. Wow. Even though he didn't have any. Well, he and Nick Saban were great friends, very good friends at least. And I know Deion Sanders thinks very highly, said it publicly on many occasions. He just thinks Nick Saban just knows more about college football than he, or forgot more about college football than Deion ever knew. So, but I think Deion is selling himself a little short. I digress. Congratulations to my man, the Godfather of P-Funk, the bomb, George Clinton, the greatest funk band ever. Don't even at me and debate me. One of the greatest live bands you will ever see. When I think of the greatest live bands I ever saw, The Time is right at the top of the list, but maybe even a little in front of The Time. Oh my God. George Clinton's Parliament Funkadelic, Bernie Worrell, the late Bernie Worrell on the keyboards, Bootsy Collins on the guitar and the bass. Come on, man. Are y'all kidding me? Come on. So congratulations, George Clinton. Y'all should have did this a long time ago out there in Hollywood. Do you know George Clinton is just now getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on January 19th? Come on. Mothership Connection, P-Funk, The Bomb, Flashlight, One Nation Under a Groove, getting down just for the funk of it. And probably the greatest party anthem, Tear Up the Club song for me ever, Knee Deep with the late Felipe Wynn singing the hook. Ants in my pants and I need to dance. I got ants in my pants and I need to dance. Woo! Come on, man, y'all playing. And then, especially for all you fraternity bros, oof, y'all know who y'all are. All you Qs, Atomic Dog. Come on, man. Are we kidding? So congratulations to George Clinton. And thank God that you gave George Clinton his well-deserved star, and you gave it to George Clinton while he's still alive. To, as I say, smell the roses or sniff and kiss the star. It's going to be January 19th out there in Hollywood where they have all the ceremonies. Hollywood and Vine, right around in that area. It was that little walk, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, probably takes I would say at least close to a mile. But anyway, I'm so happy for George Clinton. And happy birthday to my Capricorn celebrating a birthday today, Kim Coles. Sinclair, one of my favorite TV shows of all time from back in the 90s. We are living single. I don't know what I'm in this singing mood today. I don't know what it's all about, right? It's one of my favorite shows. So you had, of course, you had Queen Latifah. You had Kim Fields. You had Sister Erica Alexander. You had my man Overton, John Hinton, comedian, and then you had the brother that played Kyle Barker. I can't remember my dude's name, and he's from Chicago too. But anyway, Kim Coles was a star on that show. Funny sister, and speaking of funny, she was on In Living Color with Keenan Ivory Wayans. You know, Keenan really, that was his brainchild. And then him and Damon, and then Sean and Marlon were on there. Jamie Foxx was on there. Tommy Davis and David Allen Greer. Their sister was on there too. Keenan and Marlon and Damon and all of them sister was on there too. So it was Kim Wayans and Jim Carrey. That's right. That Jim Carrey got his start really on In Living Color, and he wasn't even like nowhere near the funniest, but he had like that fireman bit was funny as hell. It was crazy. You knew he was just, because he was just out there. Physical comedy, Jim Carrey is like nobody. He is the king of that physical comedy. Beat himself up, and man, what he did to his body. That's probably why we don't see him now, because his body's all beat up from all the stuff he did with his physical comedy. But so shout out, happy birthday to Sinclair, a.k.a. Kim Coles. And happy birthday to the queen of hip-hop soul, Miss Mary J. Blige, 53 today. Happy birthday, Mary J. Shout out to everybody watching me live right now. I appreciate you. And my mother, my number one fan, checking the show out. Speaking of the show, so on my radio station tomorrow morning about 7, if you're going to be listening online, I would say about 5 minutes after 7. Log on to star997.com, because there's a delay if you're listening online. What you actually hear when you're listening live, there's about a 2-minute, 2.5-minute, 3-minute delay. So around 7:14 live, we're going to play the conversation, the sit-down conversation that I had with President Joe Biden. So you hear a conversation with myself and my co-workers, Savannah J., Stephen St. James. It's going to be Friday morning. A lot of people have been asking me about it. I posted some pictures on social media with me sitting down with President Biden. I almost said President Barack Obama. President Joe Biden. Folks like, Geno, is that Photoshop? No, dude. You ain't Photoshopping the president. Yes, that was me sitting down at Hannibal's Soul Kitchen. Shout out to LJ and his family. Man, they got great food. If you ever come to Charleston, South Carolina, you got to go to the Hannibal's Soul Kitchen. All right, it is the food, soul food kitchen. It is fabulous. So we had a conversation with President Joe Biden on Monday, and you get to hear that conversation in its entirety Friday morning, 7:14 a.m. here locally, we're going to play it. So if you're listening online, around 7:05 Eastern Time. If you're in Chicago, around 6:05, just go to star997.com. You can click on the Listen Live button. You'll see that little button says Listen Live. Or download the TuneIn app and type in Star 99.7. You're in Charleston, South Carolina. So that means out in LA, it's gonna be early, right? Like what, 4 o'clock? Yeah, about 4 or 5 in the morning. It's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's 3 hours difference. So it'll be 4:05. So it'll be kind of early. So if you're up that early, but we do plan to re-air it around somewhere in the 9 a.m. East Coast time hour, 9 a.m. Eastern time, but initially around 7 o'clock, so about 7:05 if you're listening online. Now, if you're here in the area, in the Charleston metro area, you can just turn on the radio and check it out, and it'll be about 7:14, because I carry Steve Harvey show in the syndicated in the morning, and then we do local cut-in breaks, so check that. You don't want to miss that, because everybody been asking me about it, because everybody's seen the pictures in the little 23-second video of me asking President Biden a question. He's really a good man. He has a good heart. He really loves people, and he really wants all people to do well and to prosper, and he really, really believes in America. He loves America, and he just hates to see what orange jumpsuit jackass Hitler did to a large segment of this country, and he's just really just emboldened and energized the hate, and just gave people a basically like permission just to be like outwardly racist and homophobic and sexist. Like, oh, you got a permission slip, you got a pass, because he's so racist and ignorant and misogynistic and sexist and homophobic and just full of hate and petty insecurity. That's him. So it's a very interesting conversation. Yes, and President Biden was very sharp and alert, because I can hear some of y'all. Did he act like he had his faculties? He act like he got this or that? Y'all just need to shut that down. Just stop it. See, he's sharper than a lot of you all half his age, and in better shape, as opposed to Mr. Orange Jumpsuit Jackass Hitler, who looked like he's about 9 months pregnant on a diet of what? A case. They say he drinks like a case of Diet Cokes and all that fried food. I'd like to see his blood work. Jesus Christ. They're like, dude, you still alive? Pumping them up with all them drugs. I digress. Since we are on the subject of the man who wants to destroy democracy, the man who's bragging that he killed abortion rights for millions of women. He has put the lives of millions of women in jeopardy. He has caused young children, young girls, not even teenagers, that have been a victim of rape or incest, to have to travel hundreds of miles to terminate a pregnancy that was the result of rape or incest. Women who need emergency medical care because they're having a miscarriage and they're hemorrhaging, bleeding out, or that they have what they call a stillborn fetus. That means that the fetus is dead inside of the woman. As a matter of fact, there's a woman in Texas, and some of the doctors feel horrified because she basically, I believe, had a stillborn fetus, and no hospital would give her the emergency medical care she needed because they were so afraid of going to jail, because they would have had to perform this life-saving abortion to save the life of the mother that had a stillborn or dead fetus inside of her, and the woman died. So I want to speak to my young brothers and sisters of all races and ethnicities and religious origins, even those of you all that don't even believe in any kind of religion or God. Anybody that tells you not to vote, and I'm just going to give it to you straight. Some of your favorite stars, some of your favorite rappers, or tells you to vote for somebody that wants to oppress you, that openly despises you and wants your demise. I don't care who it is, your favorite rapper, your favorite singer, your favorite entertainer, your favorite comedian, your favorite media personality, a favorite radio or TV host, even somebody in your family, if they tell you not to vote, they don't love you. Because I'm going to keep saying it, it's going to be a daily mantra. The 2024 elections, all of them, starting with the presidential election, it is a binary choice. There's only two choices. Brother Dr. Cornel West, who I have mad respect, we have mad love for him in the culture, and the utmost respect for him as an academic and a good brother, but he knows better. He got a snowball's chance in hell. He got less of a chance to become president of the United States in this 2024 election than I have of becoming the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And that would never happen. And I still got a better chance of getting that job than he does of getting in the White House as the president of the United States. And Jill Stein and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and anybody else that may run no labels. I read this dude, the former governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan, looked like a little weeble wobble there. None of them got a chance. And any vote for any of them, every person I named, yes, including Brother Cornel West, any vote for any of them, him, Robert Kennedy Jr., any no labels candidate, Joe Manchin, Larry Hogan, Jill Stein, Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., you are voting for your oppression, because that's going to benefit one person. And the madman that wants to oppress you, that said he wants to be a dictator. Damn this day one shit. So you think he'll be a dictator on day one and be like, okay, I got all this power and control. I've shredded the Constitution. I've terminated the Constitution. I've sent the Marines and the Navy SEALs to go to Chicago and Detroit and Atlanta and New York City and Philly and Newark and Cleveland and Houston and LA and Milwaukee and St. Louis and Memphis. I've sent the Marines and the Navy SEALs and the Army Rangers to shoot to kill any protesters who are protesting peacefully, to shoot and kill shoplifters. Who do you think he's talking about? Who do you think he's referring to? Black Lives Matter. Talking about you, young brothers and sisters. The man is telling you, if you protest, if he gets in office, he will invoke what's called the Insurrection Act, which means he will declare martial law, and he will send the U.S. military to the streets of Chicago and Detroit and New York and Atlanta and Memphis and Philadelphia, Birmingham and Houston and Milwaukee. He will send the U.S. military, the Marines in, to shoot y'all on the street if you protesting. I ain't making this up. You can find it on social media. You can search and find it. As a matter of fact, because he already wanted to do it. Here's a homework assignment for you. Not even homework. Search Google, Yahoo, I don't give a damn what your search engine is. Type in Mark Esper, E-S-P-E-R, E-S-P-E-R, former Secretary of Defense. Before Brother Lloyd Austin, we lift him up in prayer. We found out he just had a surgery, removed prostate cancer. We want to lift him up in prayer. But before Lloyd Austin orange jumpsuit jackass Hitler's last defense secretary was a dude named Mark Esper, who said that, yes, that demon seed, asked him, he told him he wanted to shoot the protesters, the Black Lives Matter protesters that were protesting in Washington, D.C. toward the end of his, that was during the whole situation with George Floyd, and they had painted like the street of D.C. Black Lives Matter. He told him he wanted to shoot those protesters, those Black Lives Matter. Don't take my word for it. Go find a video, listen to Mark Esper. He'll tell you himself. Donald Trump wanted him to shoot those protesters, and Mark Esper said, no, we cannot do that, and we will not do that. And an orange jumpsuit demon Satan Hitler asked him, why not? So if you think he gets back in office, you think he'll have a Secretary of Defense that'll tell him, no, Mr. President, we can't shoot American citizens who are peacefully protesting? He'll ask them, how many of them do you want us to kill? Y'all better stop playing around and listen to these people that you listen to on the radio and you see on TV, or you listen to their music. Stop playing around. They're going to get you killed. They don't love you. I don't give a damn if they do look like you. And a lot of them got money, so they don't care. They got a passport. If the shit get crazy, they out of here. They got a passport. They'll be gone. And you and your family will be stuck to deal with the carnage, the aftermath, the Armageddon of this fool if he gets in office. Who was bragging last night on TV, bragged that he killed abortion rights for women, that he killed and took away, had this appointed 3 Supreme Court justices that reversed, that threw out Roe versus that decision, Supreme Court ruling, decision, Roe versus Wade, 50 plus years, women had reproductive rights in this country. They had the right to terminate a pregnancy for whatever reason, because it's their body. And he bragged, he said, I am proud to have killed abortion rights for women. So that woman that died in Texas because she had a stillborn fetus, a dead baby inside, the fetus couldn't survive, and that the mother was probably bleeding out, and hospitals and doctors were afraid to treat her and give her the emergency care. So that blood is on his hands. Or you got a young sister, I believe in Ohio, who miscarried. Once again, another stillborn fetus, dead fetus, and miscarried. She thought she was having a bowel movement, and she miscarried, and the fetus came out in the toilet. She miscarried on a toilet seat. And you want to charge her they want to charge her with a felony for having a miscarriage? Is that the America you want? Because my young millennial and Gen Z sisters, that could be you, it could be your sister, it could be your mother. All right, fellas, that could be that could be your girlfriend, your fiance, that could be your sister or aunt or niece or mother. All right. A man who said he would, his lawyer said that he could assassinate his political opponents and enemies. Huh? Are we living in America? A man, so for all you all, not just Gen Zers and millennials, even us Gen Xers, baby boomers, the greatest generation, you got a 401k plan through your job or your own, some kind of retirement plan, Roth IRA, whatever it is. You got any kind of stocks, your own little portfolio, whatever, just on some stocks you bought on your own online. This is the man that said he hopes that the economy crashes. So he hopes that however much money you have, whatever the value is of your 401k plan or retirement plan, because now y'all can trip on President Biden, but the stock market, highest it's ever been. Not my opinion. Do you search right now? But he said he hopes in the next 12 months that the economy crashes so Joe Biden will lose and he can come riding in like a hero. He wants to mess up your money. Now, that doesn't get your attention. He wants to go digging in your pockets. He wants the full amount, the entire amount of whatever retirement account you have. He wants it to crash and burn. He wants it to go to zero. Y'all gonna vote for that too? Really? Said Abraham Lincoln should not have freed our enslaved ancestors. Like I said, he would shred the Constitution on day one. Okay, I don't know what else I need to tell you. Once again, especially my young brothers and sisters of all races, shades, ethnicities, sexual orientation, religious affiliation, or none at all. I don't give a damn who it is. If somebody is telling you, oh, your vote don't count, it don't matter. The lesser two evils, they both the same, two sides of the same coin. Don't even bother voting. You should protest. You should walk away from their ass because they don't love you. They have no love for you. As a matter of fact, they are trying to get you to really engage in your own genocide. Because this election is a choice. It is not even a choice between President Joe Biden and orange jumpsuit jackass Hitler. It is a choice between your freedom and your oppression. Because that MAGA cult, they want to oppress you and they already have the plans printed out. And you can download them yourself in a PDF on your computer or your tablet or your smartphone. Just Google Project 2025. We're going to shred the Constitution. We're going to fire all these government employees because too many of them are black and Hispanic. And we're going to put people who are loyal to the dear leader, orange jumpsuit jackass Hitler. And we're going to move the nation's capital. Let's move it to Florida or Texas. Let's take it out of D.C. because too many of them darkies, too many of them dark folks live in D.C. And you're going to have to take like a loyalty oath and a test. You got to prove your loyalty to the dear leader. You know what that sounds like? The original Hitler. I'm telling you, if you don't understand and know history, we can be doomed to repeat it. And there's a lot in this man, a man who has used Hitler's language, referring to saying Americans poisoning the soul, poisoning America, immigrants, the same language that Hitler used to exterminate and murder 6 million Jews. But Hitler didn't like black folks. He didn't like what he called gypsies. If you were handicapped, if you had some kind of disability, oh, he wanted to kill you too. Absolutely. Who made fun of handicapped people? I'm telling you. Just download Google Project 2025. They got the plans in writing. Oh, sophisticated, because the MAGA cult members understands that Donald Trump is just an avatar. He's just a figurehead. They know his stupid ass. They can manipulate him. This white Christian racist nationalism, which is global, is not just here in America. That's Vladimir Putin. That's Viktor Orban. in Hungary, that's Erdogan. In Turkey, that's now the dude in Argentina. They just got rid of the white nationalists in Brazil, Bolsonaro, who came here, got a standing ovation in one of these MAGA events. I'm just saying, anybody that tells you don't vote, I ain't voting, so you shouldn't vote. They don't love you. And they want your death and destruction and demise. Because at the end of the day, that's this MAGA cult, the ones that are really racist and sexist and homophobic, they don't even want you to exist. And they've said it. You don't have to take my word for it. You can find it. It is easy. It's all over social media. And who is their dear leader and Lord and orange Savior, Jesus, their orange Jesus Christ. You can F around and find out if you want to and play with it. You better stop listening to, I don't care how many records they sold. I don't care, how many folks they have on their radio or TV show. Anybody telling you not to vote, you really need to look at them sideways. And you need to moonwalk like Michael Jackson away from their ass. Because they mean you no good. And that is it. That's it for me for today. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you and God. Most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I want to thank everybody for watching me live right now. Thank you, of course, my mother, my number one fan, and everybody else out there. Feel free, if you're watching me live, you got a question or comment, please post it in my live chat room that I have open when I'm on camera live, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show. We kick off my weekend review show Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts. Brand new, beautiful. It is a barbering palace. It's not a barber shop. No shade to all my brothers in the barber shop watching me now. It is a barbering palace. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP, because Kel be cutting and trimming and clipping up. Allie Jones is the drip director, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her and her collection, fashion designer, fashion design major at Columbia College, Chicago, my alma mater. Check her and her designs out. lx.ncl_ on Instagram. lx.n like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you Friday live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Go back. If you missed some of the episode, go back and watch this and binge watch all my back episodes. If you are here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area, Friday morning, 7:14, our conversation with my co-workers at Star 99.7. Our conversation with President Joe Biden. And if you are not here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, you can listen to this conversation anywhere on the planet. Download the TuneIn app, or just go to star997.com or TuneIn app, type in star 99.7. And if you're listening online, there's about a 2.5 to 3 minute delay. So instead of 7:14, I would advise by 7:10, you make sure that you've already logged in, maybe about 5 after the hour. 7:05 East Coast time, 6:05 Chicago, 5:05 in Denver, 4:05 out in Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.